there will be some of that. But think about it when the politician and the bureaucrat makes a decision and they make a wrong decision because they can't possibly know what is best for you or how to spend your money. So when they make the decision, it does harm for all of us. So that is why you want the individuals to make their own decision about their own lives and their own money. One other problem with freedom, because people will misuse it, the one rule is you can't ever use it to hurt anybody else. But the other thing is that people are conditioned to believe that if you legalize freedom of choice of what you put in your mouth or what you put in your lungs and what you eat and all these things, that means you endorse what they do. But that's not true. You don't endorse what people do with their freedoms. We don't endorse religious freedom. Some people have various religions. Some people have no religion. But we don't, because we have freedom of religion, we don't endorse it. Intellectually, we don't say, well, we have freedom to study whatever we want. But that doesn't mean we endorse what people read or what they do. But unfortunately, for now, quite a few years, 100 years maybe, we have gotten this notion that if we allow people to make up their own minds about what they put in their bodies, it could be wrong, and therefore we have to regulate. It's gotten to such a point now where you are losing your right to decide whether or not you can drink raw milk. I think in a free society, you ought to be able to smoke what you want and drink what you want. And if you do any harm to anybody else, you're in big trouble. If you do harm to yourself, you have to suffer the consequences, and you can't go begging for help from your neighbor. Drugs are very dangerous. And I admonish my children and my grandchildren to be very, very cautious because they are very dangerous and people can get addicted. But I also know that the war on drugs has been much more damaging to our liberties, and it hurts everybody, than the drugs themselves. And also, if you're worried about addiction, what are you going to do about the addiction of prescription drugs? That's where the real problems are. So we have to have more confidence in ourselves. We have lost confidence in believing that freedom works and that freedom is the solution, that people might misuse their freedoms. So we need more confidence, but we need a better understanding, because when they tell you, well, this freedom is a good thing, but it's only going to help the rich, which is wrong. It's the system we have today that helps the rich at the punishment of the poor. The entitlement system doesn't work. So what we want is a fairer system, which means that the incentive system works and allows people to work hard and take care of themselves and get the benefit and the satisfaction of taking care of oneself. That's what we need again. The ultimate goals in life are something very personal. Some people might not have much goals at all. Some people not want to be educated, and they might not want to work. But ultimately, I think most people who care about society and care about their fellow man, people want to strive, in my estimation, at least that's what I want, strive for excellence and virtue. If that is the goal in a free society, then you want the government out of the way. Because when government gets in the way, they ruin the whole thing. They just mess things up. Too often, we make this assumption that government will be there, will take care of us, and everything is going to be all right. Our experiment with liberty has been the greatest experiment in the history of the world.